This is a story. We sat down, myself and Aaron, to write this show, and we thought, what are the saddest stories in Irish mythology? What are the ones that make us cry? We sat on either end of my couch and drank beer and cried at each other for an hour and a half. That's how we wrote it.
It was very cathartic. It was good.
It was good. We felt we needed it. But this is a story that we actually kind of found a way into last year, and it was a little bit of a tough nut to crack, because this is a story that we've told from several sides before, but we decided to tell it from the darkest side, the worst side. And yeah, hold that thought, ladies, because I don't know if you're going to feel that way about me in a minute. This is one of those ones which really insisted on itself and insisted also to be spoken in a very particular voice. And so, with that in mind, I am Ferdarach, druid of the Tuatha De Danann. I am a powerful druid, even among my people, the people of the other world, the people who change their shape, who have wild magic and tame magic. People who can move in between worlds, who can see through time. People who people like you call gods and goddesses. Now, I was not counted high among my people. We have rank just like you. We have those who are preferred. We have those who are high born. We have those who are treated more kindly for birth or for beauty that they possess. And I had little beauty, and I had little in the way of high birth. I had to earn my place. I had to earn everything that I had. Nothing was ever given to me. I had the powers of my people. The power to change shape, even a wild magic, dangerous to touch, that most avoided. See, in a time of greatest distress, my people can call on a deep magic and transform into a creature that best fits their truest nature. Such things are dangerous, difficult to undo. They need some great working. They need the power of the other world or true love or high magic to undo. And I was aware of that magic, and I was able to tap into it just enough to fuel myself, to give myself more power than has ever been grasped by any of the Tuatha De Danann. For to touch that wild magic is like touching an open flame. I learned to cast my gaze into the sky itself, into the clouds. And I could see everything that happened in the other world and even in the mortal world. I could see it all. Every secret tryst, every quiet meeting I could observe. And with knowledge came power. And with power came regard. At last, the status I deserved. And even those lovely ladies of the Tuatha De Danann, those who had scorned to look at me before, now sometimes cast their eyes my way with curling smiles and batted eyes. All those who had scorned to speak with me before, all those who had looked down their noses at me and my low birth, me and my mean stature, me and my lack of beauty. And then one day I met a woman, and she was different to the others. This lady, this Sadbh. She had a gentleness to her, a softness. When I saw her first, I knew here was someone in her sweet nature. There was something in her, a vulnerability that cried out for protection. She seemed worthy of me, of who I had made myself. Now, she was not forward and she was not bold, and so she did not put herself forward. But I sought her out when I could, and she smiled at me. She laughed at my jokes. And one night at a feast, I sat by her and we talked. We talked late into the night. I knew this was a meeting of minds. I could see her eyes, the sparkle of them. I could see. She never talks about this, but I could see from her gesture, from the way that she looked at me and the way her eyes softened, the way her lips curved in smile and laugh. And so when I reached out for her, it was the most natural thing in the world. And she recoiled, as if she hadn't been inviting this with every glance. And then she panicked. And I couldn't let her run in that state. She was so distraught, she was hysterical, she would spread some lie. I hadn't done anything. I am not that kind of man. But if I let her go now, who knew what rumors she would spread to ruin my reputation so hard won. And so I seized her, I caught her, I held her just until she calmed down. And instead, in my arms she twisted, drawing on her own wild magic. Changing. I assumed she would become some soft, sweet thing as befitted her nature, but she twisted into a deer, wild. She kicked me. She cut my face. She sprang away. I saw her go. And to flee from me, she slipped through, between the worlds, into the world of mortals, away from her other world home. Well, at least she wasn't going to go spreading any rumors. I cast my gaze into the sky and I watched her and I thought, well, maybe she needs to see what life is like without beauty to shield you from its cruelties. Maybe she needs to know cold and want and hunger, and maybe then she will be grateful for what I have to offer and she will apologize for her behavior. So I watched over her to make sure no harm came to her. I was ready to forgive her any time. And then one day she slipped from my sight. She vanished. I could not perceive her. No matter how I searched high and low, up and down, north and south and east and west, and after long searching, I saw her. And my heart broke for her. She'd found her way back to her own form, I don't know how, And she was in the house of a man. She betrayed me so casually. She was in the house of the worst kind of man. A man so in love with his own beauty that he had little affection left to spare. A man to whom women came and went as easily as breezes, as easily as a meal each day. Something they would value so low. This man, this warrior, head of a band of bandits and ruffians and thugs. They called themselves the Fianna, and he, so vain of his golden hair, he called himself after it, Fianna McCool. I saw how she gazed at him as if he were some hero of legend. And I saw the deceit in his eyes when he looked at her, and I knew he would leave her, he would cast her aside. He would not value her the way I did. He would never be capable of loving her as I did. And he did leave. I saw him go. For all he said it was to a battle and that he would return. He left her. And I knew he had left for good. And so I thought to myself that if that was what she wanted in a man, I could be that for her. And so I made myself tall, and I made my hair long, and I conjured hounds even, like his 2 wolfhounds of flame and shadow. And I went to the gates of his house, and I waited for her. And when she came running out towards me, I thought, at last, she finally sees. She sees the man she loves. She knows she's come to her senses, but when she got close enough to see my eyes, she turned again and in an instant twisted, hysterical, irrational, and became a deer once more. And I thought, if she wants to be treated like a deer, then I will treat her like a deer. And with my hounds, I hunted her. My hounds of flame and shadow, their power under my control. I was never going to hurt her. I chased her into a narrow valley, somewhere that she would be contained until she came to her senses. And then I drew the walls up around her to keep her contained, to keep her safe. Women need that. They need someone to set boundaries. And there she stayed. And day after day, I visited. And I was so patient. Bought her gifts. I talked to her. I made poems for her. I even let her keep that bastard that she dropped. I didn't say anything about it. I waited for so long until finally my patience broke. And I decided to bring her back to our home, the other world, where she would be a woman again, and we would have a reasonable conversation. And so I pulled her, and she fought me. And there in the threshold between worlds, she resisted me. As time slipped and distorted, and my own wild magic, I let it take hold. You see, I know I am a wolf. If she is a deer, I am a wolf. If I am not a wolf, I am a stag, spreading antlers. I am dominant. I am a king among beasts. I waited for fang and fur and claw. I waited for the deepest truth of my nature to be revealed, that she would see me for exactly who I am and know her place. Everything went dark, and I felt so cold. I don't understand. I am a wolf. I am a stag. I'm not a worm. I cannot be a worm.